How's everybody? My name is Scott Waters and welcome to No Life Till Metal. It is time for a No Life Till Metal records and graphics update. Going to be doing an all vinyl update this time around. I've got a lot of stuff to show, so I'm going to split it up into a couple videos. I just haven't really had time to do a whole lot of videos. Been so busy, which is a good thing. I mean, it's great to be busy, you know, with work. So, but I want to get right into this. The first handful of these are going to be on Rox Records. So the very first one, and this thing has been on my playlist non-stop for weeks now. Really enjoyed this straightforward, old school melodic heavy metal. If you're familiar with the band Firewolf, Nick Layton is a guitar player from Firewolf, and the sound is not too unsimilar to that. But a little different in that it has Robin Kyle Basari on vocals on this album. Robin Kyle is just one of my all-time favorite vocalists who sang in Die Happy and then in Red Sea. He also sang in Joshua for a while, but he's got that kind of Ian Gillan voice. On here, I even hear a bit of David Coverdale, which is bizarre. I know both, I know he and especially bass player Roger Martin are huge Deep Purple fans, so you can definitely hear that influence on this album. But just a great album. I did do the cover art. Now, the horse itself, I would love to say that I drew that horse, but I did not draw that horse. That awesome armored horse was done by a friend of mine. And he does computer-generated graphics like this. So he created that, and then I created the logo and did the layout with the text and adding. I made some changes to the background and whatnot to make it work for the cover. And then it actually wraps. It's not a gatefold, but if it was, you would see that it wraps around to the back. Really nice artwork. And it came out great, the two of us working together on this one. And I really love the Reign of Glory logo, how it came out. The O and of is kind of like their symbol that they're using too, which you'll see when I get on the inside of this thing. The logo was designed long before the cover art was. That was the first thing we designed when this band got together. And I'm really hoping this won't be the last album these guys do. Alright, so you saw the cover art. Here's the vinyl itself. And as with all Rox Records releases, you get the Rox logo on the back side, and the front's got the symbol, as I said on there, the O with the spike through it, or the nail through it. Black vinyl, it's only available in black vinyl. It comes in a black polyline sleeve. All one, well, maybe it's the first 100 copies, or was it all copies? I can't remember now. Let's see, I'll know when I open this up. Yeah, the first 100 copies come with a poster. It's a 12 by 18 poster. It is obviously folded in half to fit inside the record. They're hand numbered. This one is number 2 of 100. And then it also has the lyric insert with the band photos and liner notes in here. I'm just really happy with how this one came out. I mean, everything about this thing is fantastic for me. I mean, everything from the music to the artwork, everything just came out great. I always stress over, when I do graphics, over, mistakes that get missed, because almost inevitably some typo is going to be in there somewhere. Even with 1,000 people looking it over, they get missed. So I always hate when that happens. It always bothers me a lot. Because I stare at these things for hours, and it's so easy to read over top of things that it's just annoying when that kind of thing happens. Regardless, they all come with the hype sticker featuring Jim Chafin, who was in Deliverance, The Crucified, among others. Robin Kyle Basari, Die Happy, Red Sea Joshua, Roger Martin, Vengeance Rising, Die Happy, and Nick Layton from Firewolf. Like I said, great album. If you're into melodic, old school heavy metal with a big Deep Purple, White Snake kind of influence going on. A little bit heavier than those, because it's got more of an 80s, 90s heavy metal sound as opposed to the 70s, but it's just all blends together, and it's just done so well. And Robin Cabasari is just on his game there. So, all right, next up, this too, Rox Records. This is the new Seventh Servant. There's actually 2 different colors, variations on this one available. I only have the one. This is the green vinyl version, or it's kind of like a teal green color. But yeah, this is John Greeley's new project. John Greeley being one of the vocalists from Iced Earth, one of the original vocalists from Iced Earth. He sang on Night of the Storm Rider, which of course most people hold as one of their favorite albums. For good reason. It's a great album. And my copy is autographed. Now, there were some autographed copies for sale on roxrecords.com. I'm fairly sure the autographed copies have all sold out. They were signed by both him and their bass player, who is also his wife. They just happened to be out in California and met with Bill. Ginger Sizemore, probably Ginger Greeley now, but yeah, they were recently married. So it is a gatefold, as you can see. It is a single album. I mean, it's a double album, excuse me. And you can see it's on the green vinyl. And like I said, all Rox records kind of have the Rox logo on one side, and then the custom center label on the other side. And this thing is fantastic. If you like Iced Earth, Blind Guardian, that style of music, that's what you're going to get here. This is a concept album based on, well, it's not even based on, it is the Book of Revelation. He's basically singing the Book of Revelation. So if you're into, that kind of thing, old school, well, new school power metal, I guess. It's, got a lot of double bass and melodic vocals, fantastic guitar solos. Also should mention that Tim Ripper Owens does some guest vocals on here as well. Another Iced Earth vocalist. This one's available on CD and vinyl. So is The Reign of Glory. I'm not showing the CDs because I may have shown them in the past, but regardless, the CD is a double album as well. It's got the full album on the first CD, and it's got instrumental versions of the full album on the second CD. So, with all rock stuff, they usually come with a little bonus thing, a sticker or something like that. I'm pretty sure that on the Seventh Servant and on the Reign of Glory, those have been all sold out. But the vinyl's still available. The CDs are still available. There's still both colors of vinyl available from Seventh Servant. Although from what I understand, the green is nearly sold out. Literally, like he has like 5 or 10 copies of the green vinyl left. So, all right, this one is on Rox Records. This is Vindicator. This is the new album from them. Thrash metal, Communal Decay. It was actually released independently on CD only. By the band, and then we picked it up and put it out on vinyl and CD. Got it mastered by Rob Caldwell, so the sound is fantastic. Love the artwork. I wish I could say, same thing on this one. I didn't do the cover art. I used elements from the cover all throughout the thing, but I didn't actually design the cover art. It was when we signed Seventh Servant, they already had the cover, and a logo, so I didn't do any of that. I just did all the layout and color correcting and all that kind of fun stuff. Same with the Vindicator. I didn't do the cover art, although that is a fantastic thrash metal cover. Did the layout on the back, used elements of the cover in there. That big eye guy, see the eye guy. There he's the eye guy on the back. Thought it was kind of cool to put his fingers coming over top of the Vindicator logo, which came out nice. And then the insert. It is on black vinyl. There was only, I can't remember if it was 100 or 200 copies pressed. It might have only been 100 copies of this one. So if you're looking for this one, I would get that one quick. But there you can see the eyeball in the middle there. The center of the center label is the eye, and then at the back of all No Light to Metal releases have the No Light to Metal fist on there. And it does come in black polyline sleeves, as does the Ritual Servants. Rox always pays a little extra to get those nicer sleeves. Band photos, you can see longtime members and founders, Vic Stone and his brother Jesse Stone. And then, of course, we got a shredder in here in Billy Zahn, who's played in a bunch of different thrash bands, but his guitar work on here is stellar. So if you're into thrash metal, especially the new wave of thrash metal out of 2000s, Vindicator are one of those bands that really made a name for themselves, and they're still doing it. So highly worth checking out if you haven't. Now, on that one, I will say there is a CD version, which I just happen to have sitting here. But also, this one came with a free square button of the cover art. There are still a handful of these left. When I was in California at the Rox offices on last week, he had them there, and he said he had like maybe 10 left. So if you get your order in for the CD or the vinyl, you'll get the button right now. But don't wait too long, because like I said, there's only like 10 left. All right, and then this is Fear Not. I can't remember if I showed this one or not, but this is also on Rox Records. Again, this one came out stellar, and this one I did do the cover art on. The album is called Fields of Sorrow, and we kind of had this. They kind of had this idea of having this old dilapidated shack on a just a field of dried up mud and everything being dead. The trees dead. Everything's kind of just dried up and dead. But then there's this down here. You see this gravestone and with the cross on it, and then there's this little bit of color on there. The green popping up. The promise of hope, the promise of life. Even in the fields of sorrow, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. So I did create this from scratch. There's a lot of cool little elements on here you got to kind of search for. Like there's a little rocking chair sitting here. There's a guitar in here. I actually originally had a beat up acoustic guitar, but they wanted an electric guitar in a certain one, so that's one of their guitars on there. There's a little sign over here with one of the bonus tracks on it. There's a couple of covers on here, but they do the Who's join together and do a great job of it. Musically, this is kind of hard rock, modern rock. Modern rock sounds weird, but it's kind of hard rock with a southern tinge, a little bit of metal. If you heard it, if you're not first album, it kind of has that sound mixed with southern rock and some like Zeppelin influences and stuff like that. Again, polyline sleeves, custom center label. This little skull buried in the dried up mud there. Actually, you can get that on a T-shirt as well from those guys. They like that little piece so much they put it on a shirt. And I did design that as well. Band photos came out fantastic. Love the duotone, sepia tone look. Insert with lyrics. Yeah, fantastic album. It also has a bunch of liner notes and a few photos inside that the band wanted to add in. But yeah, this is another one that was limited to. This one was only 200 copies released. Now this one I know for a fact is nearly sold out. Whether it'll go into a second pressing, I don't know. The CDs will definitely have to go into a second pressing because they pressed up quite a few of them and they're nearly gone. So I'm sure there will be more CDs to come in the future. But the vinyl, I can't promise a second pressing. So if you're interested in the vinyl and if you're not, again, all those are available from roxrecords.com, which I'll put here, roxrecords.com. You can get those from, including the Vindicator, which is NoLifeToMetalRecords.com, but the two sites are kind of linked together. You can order No Life to Metal stuff and Rox Records stuff together and put them in one cart if you're interested. But all you got to do is click on the No Life to Metal logo when you get there, and it takes you to the No Life to Metal releases, or you click on the Rox Records releases, and it'll put on there. And there's also No Life to Metal distro, which is just other bands, that aren't part of our label. You'll see if you go to the website. There's all kinds of stuff for sale there, and definitely appreciate the support there. All right, so we got one more, and then a couple announcements I'm going to say. So this one just came in the mail. This one's been on sale for a while and finally came in. This is Paramaecium Within the Ancient Forest. This is a first time on vinyl. It was released on CD back in 96. Obviously it has the nice little hype sticker. Now this one here is on Bombworks Records, which you can find at boomsoverstock.com. Love the paper. This is on the uncoated stock, so it's got this nice texture to it. It's not, you can actually see the difference between this one and the others. Is my light's not causing a huge glare because the paper is different. It is a gatefold. There's the center spread, and you can see some pictures of the band. I really like the way these came out. I love that, like I said, that sepia tone look, that kind of old school scroll look, which is how the back photo looks. As with Rox, all of Bombworks and Retroactive stuff, they're usually in these nice black polyline sleeves, and this is a special color vinyl. I can't remember what they called this one, but when it's like Deluxe Remastered Gatefold 2 LP Heavyweight Limited Edition Winter Blue Splatter Vinyl. And it's pretty heavy vinyl. It's not 180. It's probably like 100. It's probably 140, 160, somewhere in that area. But again, the center labels kind of match the insides. I really like the way this one came out. The cover art was difficult because nobody had the original photograph, which is unfortunate. But I was able to do a pretty good job of scanning, descreening, and cleaning up the artwork and making it look pretty darn sharp. At least, I mean, it looks as good as and actually there's a little more detail on it than on the CD, probably because of the bigger size and the fact that I was able to do some nice touch-up digitally. But all the text, the logo, they had the original calligraphy for this, the hand-drawn calligraphy, so I was able to scan that in fresh, so it's nice and clean and crisp. There's no fuzziness. Yeah, it came out really nice. I'm really happy with it. So there you go, Paramaecium Within the Ancient Forest, which I believe was their second full-length album, and this is the first time it's been available on vinyl. The first album was also put out on vinyl by Bongworks, I think it was last year. That one's a double, this is a single, but both are gatefolds. So there you go. And it's also available on CD as well. Actually, I think all these were. Alright, next up, a couple announcements. Well, I've shown these before, so I won't get into deep on them, but I wanted to show the on Brutal Planet, which you can get to from boonsoverstock.com as well. Accuser, Dependent Domination, and Accuser Reflections. Both of these on vinyl for the first time are available now there. They are also available on CD. Here's the CD. I don't have the other one handy, but in any case, doesn't matter. This album right here is just a thrash masterpiece. One of my all-time favorites. Definitely one of the best albums since the 2000s. This one came out in what, 2011. I think I actually did a video of showing the best albums from the 2000s through now, and this one would, if it wasn't, I'm pretty sure it was, but it was probably in my top 5 because it's just such a great album. Now this album here was from the 90s, 1994, I think. This one's got kind of a more, they were messing with their sound a bit, and it's a bit more groove oriented at times, so they got a bit of a Pantera influence at times if you're into that sound. I particularly like it, and I know some people just prefer straightforward thrash. Straightforward thrash, a little different, but my favorite songs on Reflections is Misery, Cowboy in a String, The Wreckage, and the title track Reflections. To me, they're just a great band. But what I'm announcing is the test pressings have come in for, this is the expanded version of Confusion Romance. It was originally an EP, now a full length, 10 songs. It's fantastic EP. If you're not, I did grab the CD because the CD is already available. It is also expanded, so I'm sorry, 9 songs. So you've got Head Like a Hole, which is obviously a cover, Confusion Romance, Cowboy in a String, which is 2 original songs from Accuser, Driver's Seat, which is a cover of a UK pop band, but they do this incredible heavy version of it. Misery live from '94, great track. Repent live from '94 from the album Repent. Black Suicide live '94, Master of Disaster, and Symbol of Hate. So there you go. And so the test pressing is here. It sounds incredible. And as well, here is the test pressing for Accuser Agitation. Now, some Accuser fans and some thrash fans will fight me to death on it, but this being one of my favorite of their 2000s thrash albums, but a lot of people like this one as the best thrash album that they've done in the 2000s. Not groove back album at all. This is definitely German thrash metal. Really good stuff, but that's coming out on vinyl as well on Brutal Planet Records. So, and then finally, I did want to announce that we have signed Avenger of Blood. There will be an official announcement going out through our promotional team soon. They'll be releasing a vinyl and CD through No Life to Metal Records, and also a band called Reptilian, which is fantastic. U.S. power metal featuring former members of the band Reverend, David Wayne's Reverend. Wait till you hear it. It's just so good. I can't wait for it to come out. And the cover art, I can't wait for it to be revealed. It's fantastic. Wish I could say I did it, but it is very well done cover art. So that's it. Appreciate y'all watching. I have more No Life to Metal announcements coming soon. When I was in California, I met with Steve Gaines, so we may be doing some work with Anger is Art. We may also be working with Primal, so there's some good stuff coming out on No Life to Metal Records in the future. But I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you supporting these small labels and my label No Life to Metal Records. That's it. God bless. Stay strong.